Good morning, Nova Scotia Realtors. How are we doing? Good. How's the cheap seats in the back? We're good in the back? I'm just going to put this down here for a second. I have a little bit of my mom in me. I like to talk with my hands sometimes. So, how is the coffee? The most important question of the morning. I have to ask, as the caffeine sponsor, if it was horrible, we would be in trouble. Just in case, we put the buyer's choice crew off to the side so we can slip out quickly if it was not good coffee, so I'm glad to hear it's good. For those that are very serious about coffee, we do have some caffeine IVs coming in later, midday. We can hook you up and we'll keep you going throughout the day. So, it's really interesting. As we move into a new year, we start thinking about what the future holds, and as business owners and entrepreneurs, which every single one of you are, we think about, what makes us unique, what makes us different. We have a saying in our business that not all home inspectors are equal. So I was thinking about that. Are all real estate agents the same? Are all realtor professionals equal? Sure, there is licensing and regulation in your industry, which we don't have, and we're going to talk about that this afternoon, because we're pretty passionate about it. So, from a baseline, sure, maybe the real estate industry does have a little bit of a baseline, but as we move into 2019, what I wanted to impose upon you to think about is that events like this, events like today, where you have the opportunity to learn, capture new ideas, take that base and overlay your dynamic personality on top of it, and that is what makes us, you, as business owners, unique. I really believe that over the past few years, technology has provided an enormous amount of noise in the marketplace. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, search engine optimization, all of these things as business owners, some of us, we really challenge with it. But I think as a consumer side, there's never been so much distraction, there's never been so much noise in the marketplace as to who do I work with, who do I trust, who's the real deal, and who's just all smoke and mirrors. We really believe that in 2019, what is going to happen and what is happening is a complete shift in how consumers buy and how consumers align with professionals. We believe that what clients, and by the way, as home inspectors, real estate agents are also our client. We believe that what clients are going to strive towards and want to be close to and flock to is a new level of authenticity, a new level of human, showing some vulnerability and showing the human side of who and what is behind your business. So that's our wish to you today as real estate professionals, some of the best in the industry in our opinion, is to take what you learned today, take all of the education you're provided through your regulation and licensing that our industry doesn't have the opportunity to have yet, overlay your amazing personality on top of it, and let's show home buyers and sellers exactly what a true professional real estate professional looks like. So have a fantastic...
As any of you who were here this morning for the welcome message, you would have had a brief opportunity to meet Rick, but I'm going to just give you a little bit of background about Rick, just so you guys have a better understanding as to why we have him up here as our expert with regards to this subject. So Rick has owned a buyer's choice home inspections in Atlanta, Canada since 2014. They serve all 4 Atlantic provinces, and more recently, just in October of 2018, Rick has acquired Southern Ontario and the British Columbia regions. Buyer's Choice Home Inspections actually was launched here in Bedford in 2005. And since then, they've grown to be the largest home inspections franchise in all of Canada. They continue to grow both in Canada, the US, and international markets. Rick is bringing over 2 decades worth of sales, coaching, public speaking, and in-the-life trench business experience to his team and to Buyer's Choice. For many people, as we all know, we're working with buyers. Buying a home is going to be their single biggest investment. It's not just about them, it's about their properties, it's about their family. And to that point, a home inspection then becomes the biggest protection tool that they use when they're looking to buy a property, and therefore it's very important that they have the right person helping them with that process. So as realtors, we understand the importance of not only being licensed, but also being regulated. Rick, from my understanding, from what I've heard about you and your company, you're quite passionate about bringing that level of regulation to home inspectors. And so for you, why is it important that your industry is regulated, and tell us a bit about that.
Sure, thanks Chris. Here's the deal. In Nova Scotia and actually all of Atlantic Canada, anyone can call themselves a home inspector today. So, really what that means is, somebody working in a fast food restaurant with absolutely zero experience, education, or training with anything to do with properties could literally print themselves a business card today and call themselves a home inspector. It's a really scary reality. And that really, at its core, is why our founder started the company. So he actually was a real estate agent here in Halifax. And in 2005, he said, hell with this, I'm going to start what will be known as, Canada's most professional, highest licensed, highest certified, highest insured, regardless of licensing. Now, we thought licensing by now would have happened in Atlantic Canada, and it has just continued to snowball a little bit and not happen. So we're lighting the fire in 2019. It's rare that industry would be leading this. And in fact, that doesn't help us a huge amount. We need some help, and that's why this topic is so important for us.
So from your perspective, what is the difference between someone being as a licensed home inspector as well as having that industry as a whole be a regulated industry?
Well, that's a great question. And what we saw in other provinces that implemented licensing, and I'll use Alberta and BC for example. Alberta probably has the highest standard when it comes to home inspector licensing. And what we found was after licensing entered the market, more than 50% of the home inspectors, or those that call themselves home inspectors, actually left the market. So that says something in itself. Why did those folks not then go through with the process to become licensed? And what we find is that typically, they don't have any training whatsoever in that trade whatsoever, and they don't want to go through the process of then being held accountable. Licensing puts in place a baseline for professional standards of practice, and what not only the real estate professional should expect from a home inspector, but most importantly, home buyers and sellers. Right now, somebody really could flash some flashy marketing, and at the end of the day, a consumer hires them, or they get referred by another professional, and that client could be in a lot of trouble if they have somebody there that doesn't have absolutely any training.
So as part of that licensing, I'm going to assume that would also mean that you guys have coverage and background with regards to your errors and emissions insurance. Is that something that is a required thing for a home inspector, or is that something you guys do on your own?
Yeah, it's another great question. So and that's actually an even scarier part is with the lack of licensing, mandatory licensing and regulation, those folks that call themselves home inspector or even act as a home inspector, they don't have to have insurance. No liability, no errors and emissions insurance. So that has to be a huge red flag as a real estate professional, that perhaps the person that is helping your client to perhaps make one of the largest investments of their life, and they potentially have zero insurance or coverage. And at its core, it's something that's important to us. And you're right, we are passionate about it, because what we came to realize was even with the absence of licensing, we just pretend there is. So every inspector with there's almost 100 buyer's choice now in Canada, and every inspector, regardless of licensing, and there's only 2 or 3 provinces with licensing, they have to receive the same level of training, insurance requirements. In fact, in order to do an inspection anywhere that there is mandatory licensing anywhere in North America. So it's a high level, and in our opinion, we want to raise the bar for what a real estate professional should expect from any home inspector. So when people say, why are you doing this? It's strange that industry is being a catalyst in this, and why are you doing this? Well, our goal is to educate you, the real estate professional, so you can start to hold all home inspectors accountable, not just a buyer's choice, everybody, and force those that are not serious about this business to either get serious or get out of the business. Yeah.
So as a realtor, how do we clearly identify, or what are the questions we should be asking to ensure that the home inspector or inspectors that we're recommending to our clients are licensed and have gone through that additional levels of training?
So one of the first pieces is asking them what their background or their experience is, asking them what their training is, asking if they're a part of international associations such as INTRANACHI, which is the International Association of Home Inspectors, or CAPI, which is the Canadian Association of Home Inspectors. But the internet's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing these days, as we all know. So a very quick Google search by a client, or a real estate professional will tell you a lot about that individual.
Okay. So what do you find that are some of your biggest obstacles, both provincially and nationally, in getting you that consistent licensing and regulation of your industry?
We tried to do this the nice way. Somebody said this morning, sometimes things in government don't move that fast. There was a little bit of traction over the last few years. The Moncton Real Estate Board actually was a real catalyst in helping to move home inspector licensing forward in all of Atlantic Canada. That's fallen off the rails now. We need someone else to pick up the torch. As industry, it becomes very tricky because it can be perceived by governments as bias. That we're really trying to set ourselves up for success. And, well, yeah, sure, we're a business. We're a privately held business, and we are all entrepreneurs as business owners, just like each of you. But what we need now is it's time for the citizens, the buyers and sellers, and the real estate industry to start to speak up and make their voice heard. And how they do that, the number one way is by having everybody email their MLA. This is home inspector licensing is interprovincial, so it is at the provincial level. So that's the number one thing everyone can do is start reaching out to their MLA to talk about why is there not mandatory home inspector licensing? How do we get that? And where that also should feed through is through the Consumer Affairs and Consumer Protection Department with the province. So if you Google Province Nova Scotia Consumer Affairs, start to contact those departments. We're doing the same. And probably one of the most helpful things would be, and I'm going to throw NSAR AR on the spot here.
You're already segueing right into my next question.
Yeah, I'm going to stop there.
No, it's okay, continue.
Well, this is the thing. We need support from the real estate boards. That kind of support I think would come if their membership, which is the real estate professionals, feel it's important. So, without throwing you guys on the hot seat, I would love that, if real estate professionals feel this is important and something should be done about it, then I would hope that please feel comfortable reaching out to your board and reaching out to your board and express that. And I think that your board knows they would have a willing catalyst to champion this with them. But we need to do the same thing in all 4 Atlantic provinces and take this on. And as industry, we're ready to roll. We really want to take this on and we believe in it.
All right, so Rick, on behalf of NSAR, I'd like to thank you for taking these quick moments just to explain to us why licensing and regulation is important. So on behalf of NSAR, as a token of our appreciation,